that, Yoss. Really low. With Blade will finish him off. He gets Seahawks over the wall with the in wave and the focus of Aslan. Grand charges up. Aslan will not last long. There's the flash from Excavate now. And now a Steelers fails the Seoul University still got the drink, and here comes the fight. One time is on. Look at the stupidity and Yamchi on the center of the fight.
Flash away as Sharp goes for the back line. And then standing on the line of that equalizer. Gets equalized indeed. Will be waiting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the last game of today's Lenovo LoL Collegiate League's 2017 Spring Term Interconference Series Challenge. What do you know? We will be your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas, and with me is Vulcan. We're going to go to our last game
today. What a day it is, though. I mean, we've seen some games where actually were very intense in a way that they had a chance. But then again, that's when the two-game series come into play, where the teams can actually adapt and change their own strategy.
So that's definitely a lot of teams here going to their 1-1s. Group B has just been full of 1-1s, but today is going to be the day where it will be decided whether UC Cordilleros will have a chance to get into the semifinals or whether it's just going to be MCL Warlocks.
I think this is the Nunu in the top lane, hopefully. I mean, we did see Nunu jungle. It wasn't that effective in a way that, it does not change the fact that it's not a complete Ivern replacement, as you said.
It's just an alternative here, but this will be the top lane Nunu. There are lots of things to consider. He has a lot of sustain in lane, but when it comes to actually fighting, other top laners, I think, might have a lot more value.
I think it's more of a lockdown on objectives. He can actually solo the Rift Herald.
Yeah, solo
very,
the Rift
very early.
Solo the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
It's actually also a secondary smite, while still having a jungler that can be impactful in terms of the non-objective points of the game. Coming into the bans here, Orianna Kled, Zac ban from last game, because we saw that the Zac was engaging from such a long range and being followed up by the charge coming from the Kled was such a potent combo. And here you see Scythe is just gonna be banning out the Anivia coming from Exidia, as well as the standard bans here, the Lulu and the Ivern, though I don't think Ivern is worthy of an auto ban now. I'm gonna see though.
I don't think Darius is also a worthy ban, but we're gonna be seeing UNOR Rams will be challenging that. Let's say that's banned it out. These are the bans that we feel comfortable with, and they're going to be going for it. But when it comes to a very aggressive team like UC in terms of macro play, and not to mention the rotations coming in, I hope that UNOR Rams do understand that they cannot stick to that same play style.
But it's something that can't be fixed over the course of a game. So it's something that they have to shift paradigms for in terms of how they train, how they scrim. Now, they just have to stop the bleeding and deny UC the 2-0 with as much mechanical skill and the adaptations that they can make to their playstyle. Because the entire paradigm of, okay, let's wait 20 minutes and then roam together is way too hard to change over the course of a game.
It's kind of a very outdated strategy that we saw in previous seasons, but right now, LoL is becoming a more fast-paced game, so they have to change as the game changes.
Oh man, I love the composition so far from UC. The Nunu actually, I like it. So it is going to be a jungle Nunu. So it's his responsibility, it's Cry's responsibility to make sure that Santi does not get enough farm to be relevant. So as for the top lane, it's going to be a Rumble, definitely. Mid lane Jace, so lots of physical damage here for UNOR.
I don't know why they actually went with the jungle Nunu. I guess UC knows that. They know that the Rams do play very slow. And Nunu,
so Cry's just free to just eat everything inside Santi's jungle.
And also...
Wait a second. This is 280 carries on the side of UNOR Rams. Legend Darhan on that Draven, and there's going to be a mid lane Ashe?
It might be a mid lane Ashe or a mid lane Draven. Huh.
I do think it will be the Draven, because he benefits a lot more from the bonus AD of the Eye of the Storm from the Janna, as well as him being in the mid lane means he would die more. He's more vulnerable as an AD carry. He really needs that support to snowball with his passive.
Let's see how he plays out. I mean, I was gonna go, as I was saying for UC, the reason for them picking up the Nunu was that because of Rams' very slow-paced style. But going to the mid lane, it could be this Draven or Ashe. But as we're getting some info, the reason for UNOR's reasons for wanting this Draven/Ashe pick is because from Santi himself, he did say that he wants to engage. We want to engage.
Yeah, the Crystal Arrow, one of the longest range engages that they can have. But there's a lot of other mid laners that can perform that without dying so much in the early game, especially against Jace. Because any AD carry, if you pit him against Jace, Jace can just completely demolish him with how much damage he does. Because AD carries, all of them are quite weak solo early game against many of the mid laners, top laners. So if Jace gets a good combo against an Ashe who has no way of dodging the Empowered Shock Blast, and then he gets to the skies on, get all of that burst from the hammer, it might just be the game over for UNOR. But by engage, might also want for some farming, rather from sieging. But there's also a lot of other mid laners that can siege very well, such as even Anivia, but it is banned out. But Ashe, I don't think is a good alternative to that kind of
and I don't think
playstyle.
Yeah, the playstyle will not really complement us for the Ashe. But if I have to choose between an Ashe mid or a Draven mid against a Jace, I'll go for a Draven because he does have to stand aside to really at least
it can cancel to the skies.
He can at least block the burst.
So that is going to be one of the pickups. Still very strange going for that Ashe mid. Man.
How do you think it's going to play out? I mean, I don't think it's going to be an Ashe mid. Could be an Ashe mid Draven. Did you see the final lock-in?
I did see the final lock-in that it's going to be the Draven bot lane. And
oh, wow.
So I can see that the lane is going to be played.
So Ashe mid, it's going to get wrecked.
It's going to get absolutely destroyed by the Jace here. And there are a lot of mid laners. There are a lot of other mid laners that perform the same function as Ashe if they want more engage. Like, even Annie could have been available if they want engage. They want AoE engage. There's the AoE Tibbers. But that's going to relegate Santi to ganking mid lane 24/7. If they don't, that Ashe is going to get taken down. But if it does pay off for them, if that Ashe actually gets kills for some absurd reason, then that's 2 AD carries ahead. One can actually snowball, and them just wailing on these turrets is going to make late game very hard. But it's going to be very difficult. Yeah,
it's going to be very difficult for UNOR, because they do not want to deal with a very fat Jace.
Yeah. So we are loading onto this Rift here, the Summoner's Rift, for the final game of today. The final game of Group B of the Interconference Series. It's going to be University of Cordillera Scythe versus University of Negros Occidental Recoletos Rams. So let's look at the bird's eye view of the entire Rift, the Magic Carpet ride. We are seeing that the Infernal Drake will be the first Drake of the game. So actually might be a more focused on that bot lane.
This is just going to complement the playstyle of UC even more, knowing that they like playing aggressive and not to mention locking down Infernal Drakes and the 5-minute mark, as we've seen in Game 1.
Wait. I just realized that our teams just passed each other without being in vision of each other.
Wait, come on, man. I think they're going to be seeing each other again in the blue side, seeing how UC does not spot the Rams in their own red side, so why not go for a sneaky approach?
But the time is running short. It's already past 1 minute, so they will have to recall and go back to their own lanes. Seems like Cry will actually be sticking around to try and steal away some resources from Santi.
And we're actually seeing Cry will be going for the Raptor start, as you said. Gives
Raptors of the other team, actually.
Yeah, gives them a more versatility. And
on the other hand, it's going to be Santi starting on the blue buff of Cry, matching some kind of resource steal here.
Let's see how it's going to turn out. If ever the blue buff is gone for Cry, that's going to be a huge bonus for Rams.
Yeah, something that Santi might do is just devour and kill the big raptor, and then immediately go to the red buff, steal it with a smite together with a devour. That could be his game plan. Let's look at how when the camera pans onto him.
I don't think he has enough time, though.
Yeah, because Santi's immediately going to his red buff here.
Yeah, pretty slow clear for him. He does have his devour up. Smite is off a Cry, but he does not see Santi. Who will get the smite advantage?
Santi definitely has the damage here.
Now he does get the red buff though, so Cry will be having a victory flea with the Blood Rage.
And because Santi at level 2 does not get the web just yet, he does not have any way to stop Cry. So Cry just kind of runs out free of charge.
Not to mention, actually, in terms of trade-offs, it would be Santi having a more equal trade because he does have more sustain thanks to the blue buff.
But the thing is, Cry can just continue having mana sustain because every time he every few auto attacks he does get a free spell.
True.
So that could be, or rather no, his next spell becomes empowered. The free spell is the old passive, but still, that empowered spell means that it's saving him a little bit of mana. So that is the game plan for him. But Santi losing that red buff actually hurts his ganking potential a little bit. He has a stun once he reaches level 6. He has
What was he thinking? Aggressive approach towards a Thresh. Hong is a bit disrespected there, really punishing out Legend Darhen for his careless positioning.
In the end though, Legend Darhen with the damage and the shielding from that Eye of the Storm means that the total health is actually on the side of UC Sai. Rather UNOR Rams.
Let's see how it's turning out in the mid lane right now. CS-wise is pretty equal, but Hong trying to make some plays here for his ADC.
Ooh.
Oh, a catch by Legendary, forcing out his flash. Very slither health left, but the item storm is there, but the first blood will be still secured by Aquino.
Oh, and might actually get Froche as well.
Oh, very nicely played by Hong to just tank 1/3 hit to get a double kill for Aquinos.
And that's going to be Cry immediately transitioning it into this Infernal Drake.
4-minute Infernal Drake.
Wow, I really like how UC Scythe is just fearless when it comes to taking these early dragons. And that is because they also have this Nunu here, so they are much more free to take dragon as soon as it spawns. And that fight their bot lane? That was so strange. Legend Darhen catching all of these death sentences. It's just way too bad for them.
4 minutes and 30 seconds in, you're in of an Infernal Drake.
Then Troy's gonna, without any hesitation, going for the Gromp here of Santi.
Confident.
Already, 5 minutes into the game, he's gonna be...
Yeah, the way Cry thinks is that, hey, I can do this because I know my champion. I know I can really steal the resources from their jungler Santi. And if you steal resources from an Elise, you're gonna have a really good time.
And there in the bot lane, that double kill, I think it was all because Legend Darhen didn't consume his potion.
And not to mention his reckless positioning. I mean, you did see that just because the axe is there, he chased it to a point very point face to face to Hong. Like, okay, let me take this free hook and free double kill for my ADC. Akino's got a double kill. That's gonna be a huge lead. A BF sword
already. And another detail there was he had his potion ready when he was already below half health. He should have been chugging it immediately once he reached that health point.
This is a really big penalty for UNOR Rams for the terrorist mistake, not to mention giving 2 kills, a huge lead in the bot lane.
And seems like Serrated Dirk will be the pickup here for Kissy, while Exidio will be picking up a call with Boots. And I don't think this is a right decision here, because call, the usual reason is when you're ahead. And also when you want, and another alternative reason is when you want to scale up longer, which is, I guess, decent for a mid lane AD carry, but you don't have the combat stats to face up against Kissy. So if he fights against Kissy, and if Kissy gets like an empowered shock blast on him, that is half the health of Exidia taken away.
And not to mention, Kissy did get the Serrated Dirk, so that's going to be a huge burst coming in. Not to mention the combo with the Jace, where you actually set up with the Shock Blast, go to the Warp Gate, and combo him down and burst Exidia. And we've seen Exidia's playstyle. He likes to play it safe in a way that they always wait for the 20-minute mark, and I think that's something they cannot change. So, at Ashe, I don't think that's going to be a huge difference in his playstyle right now.
So, definitely going to be a problem for them if that Ashe gets taken down. It's only a matter of time until Kissy goes all in on him.
Yeah, but we gotta set eyes onto Cry to get those objectives in time. I mean, seeing how Cry likes to move around the jungle of the enemy team, and not to mention the objective area, really just goes to show how comfortable he is. But right now, here comes an engage to the
Crystal Arrow to the bot lane. What a hit. No.
So much for the engage that they wanted.
Shot wide there, and because of all that Cry's been doing, he's 2 levels ahead of Santi. Because of all the experience he's been denying, that means that is going to be quite an unfortunate time for that.
Safety flashes out. Now Legendary has no mana. Hong is making his slow approach in, setting up for his ADC. And there's the two-man flay. Oh boy, this might be a double kill for Akinos. Yet again, a heal has been expended.
Here comes Santi.
No extent.
I don't think it will be enough to save.
Oh, a double kill and a flash in by Santi. There is the
triple.
Holy moly, a triple kill for Akinos.
And that was so badly played by UNOR. They fall into the hands with no mana, by the way. They fall into the hands of Hong's Flay, and then they try to keep fighting, and then Santi tries to salvage something that cannot be fixed.
Oh, nice flash by Xcavi, but Cry is pretty happy with that. We can see that Mob is stacking the turret hits, and the tower dive will happen. UC just loves diving those towers.
Oh dear. And that is just kills across the map here. 6-0, 4.5k gold ahead at 8 minutes. That is, I think, has to be the quickest gold lead I've ever seen in the LCL.
And I think Kissy is having a really hard time in bursting down Exidia. He does have the slow from the passive, but if I have to picture UC as some kind of person, it would be this thrill-seeker type of person that they would always go for the thrill. Let's go for a dive. Let's do it.
But they are also very mindful, knowing that in the thrills they're chasing, okay, let's check if the bungee jump cord is actually super sturdy.
Yeah,
so
sometimes we see
it's all calculated.
Yeah, sometimes we see tower divers, they actually jump without a bungee cord. So they just die.
But here, look at how much in the lead Cry is in terms of CS and the experience. Which means Santi, since he died there bot lane, that's a lot more time for Cry to steal his resources.
Dude, I mean 500 Caitlyn. What can you say about this man? Berserker's Greaves, Zeal. He does have the luxury to go for those second items.
Yeah, already the Berserker's Greaves. He doesn't need to build the Ninja Tabi anymore.
And now
he
a
just
lane swap?
outpowered. Yeah.
A lane swap.
Make it harder for Xcavi.
Xcavi does not see it coming. Let's see, here it comes. Xcavi though gets blocked by the Thresh by Hong, and he does not have his flash. Look at the damage coming in, and the CC lockdown on that Nautilus thanks to the Thresh. There it is, the ace in the hole.
Just gets another free kill on top of everything he's already got.
6-0-0.
And because of how Legend Darhin has matched the CS that Akinos has, and that Janna isn't really a playmaking support, Mob is just free to push this bot lane in.
And right now, as you said, the Janna is not much of an impactful support in the laning phase. That just goes show against the Draven, whereas Thresh is more of the support that goes for kills. Let's go for dive.
Yes, the double smite ready with the Devourer.
You cannot beat the double smite of Cry. Not to mention he is just wallowing away. Oh, you're gonna chase me down. Here comes the help from Mob with the Equalizer and the Monsoon for the disengage. But I don't think Mob cares. He's gonna barbecue. 2v4, but still winning in favor of UC. However, UNOR Exidia will pick up the double kill. And Kissy flashes in for Santi. He does repel in, giving enough time for Exidia to land those crucial hits. But Xcavi paying such a heavy price in the top lane. So painful.
And that's going to be a top lane turret siege onto Akinos against Xcavi's top lane.
It feels right here in the heart. I mean, looking at the lead that UC got in the bottom lane, they're not even stalling at all. They know their potential. And look at that, 2 turrets gone from the top lane.
In a blink of an eye, all of that happened, and here comes Santi to try and salvage the situation with it is going to be Hong though.
Very long stun, and I think he has to leave Hong for dead.
Still, the important thing, it wasn't a shutdown against Akinos. But what happened there is that Cry is free to take another Infernal Drake for his team. That's a second Infernal Drake. Multiply that with the inevitable Infinity Edge that Akinos is going to build.
You're gonna see that Cry. I mean, when he wants something, he gets it, and he wants those 5 Drakes and all for his team. And Cry doesn't even need to build damage-wise because he offers already so much in terms of objective lockdown.
Yeah, this is the Nunu. This is how the Nunu earlier was supposed to be played. Deny all of the resources from the opposing jungler, pressure as much as you can with your kit, and take objectives. That's how it was supposed to be played, not as a ganking monster.
How will you deal with a team that already has 2 Infernal Drakes, not even 15 minutes into the game? And not to mention, the next Drake will be an Infernal again. The RNG really dictating the flow of the fight.
The thing here is that it's very difficult. UC has a very good team fighting composition with the Rumble being able to just pull out a lot of damage and objectives.
Jeez.
If UNOR finds an opportunity to shut down Akinos, because most of the gold is on him. If they can shut down Akinos, that's a huge burst of gold to the one that kills him. So they have to get it onto either Legend Darhen or Exidia.
I guess they're going. I guess UC will be going more for pushing, seeing how the Revenant Hydra has been picked up, and here it comes, the double CC lockdown. All connects to Akinos. Look at the long range engage from UNOR Rams, but where is your damage? Here's your damage coming in from UC Mom. Here comes in with the equalizer.
Oh man, that is going to be still a huge fight won by UC after all of that. Triple kill, double kill onto Mob, triple kill even, and that's going to be Akinos. An ace, even though all of the CC hit the key target. That was still an ace against UNOR. A 10k gold lead at 13 minutes.
I think they can end the game already in less than 20 minutes. Seeing how a gold deficit of this much, 28,000 gold compared to 18,000, not to mention
Let's look at how all of that fell apart. Hong really doing a good job of frontlining for his AD carry. Look at all the damage that comes onto Akinos, but there's not enough damage to actually follow it up because Hong has been frontlining. Now the look at how much damage Akinos does.
I don't understand why UNOR Rams will engage a fight with a team that has 2 Infernal Drakes.
Yeah. Even though it was a really good opportunity with CC, they were all that was going to be a 5v5 in the end. So definitely UC, with how much they've been now in this cry, still stealing away buffs from Santi.
Oh, man.
Really, they've just been controlling the early game because UNOR let them. An 11k gold lead at 14 minutes precisely because UNOR playstyle allows this to happen to them. And they have to recalibrate this. I don't think they can take away a win anymore. They can if they can scale up Exidia and Legend Darhen. But considering how hard it is to win a team fight, even when you have the perfect setup with so much CC and damage onto Akinos, I think it's going to have to be a recalibration of how they play the game. Like start from the ground up.
Start from the ground up or start from scratch where they have to change their playstyle. Right now, the Infernal Drake will be up pretty soon, and the size right now, Infinity Edge and a Runan's Hurricane. 15 minutes in, this is worthy of a title of a semi-pro team going into the LCL. A worthy title indeed for UC Sai.
MCL is gonna be quivering right now. If UC gets this win, definitely that's something to be paying attention to. They have to study UC. Look at the damage coming from all of UC's kit.
Oh,
they
wow.
have summoned the Rift Herald onto top lane.
This is bad news for the Rams.
And they have, I think they have the infrastructure to actually
oh
carry
boy.
through with this.
Why even bother?
Damage.
They have to back away. They're doing so much damage. Santi trying to make some room in the back line, but should you go in the back line with a team this much of a lead? But right now, 15 minutes into the game, the inhibitor is gone.
Wow. Look at the lead just manifesting for UC. And
wow.
I like how they saved the Rift Herald for that inhibitor, because that's one of the hardest ones to take down. It leaves you the most open to angles of infiltration. So having that means that there's that big burst that leaves no chance for the turret to regenerate.
This is really a good display of macro play coming from UC. Displaying this strong of a rotation just goes to show that they do belong and maybe in the top 4 in the LCL going into the semi-finals.
Definitely something team to keep an eye on, but still, it's so hard for UNOR to even get any advantages in this game. And I think it all boils down to 1, how Legend Darhen was playing bot lane, and 2, their play style. It's so slow, it's so safe that having to wait for 20 minutes is just too costly for a team. Because as I said, a lot can happen in 20 minutes. It can ruin your chances of actually grouping up 20 minutes.
And right now, 40 seconds left into the Infernal Drake timer. UC side making their approach to the bot lane, making some room and making Rams choke in this game.
That is going to be the search and win trivia link.
Yeah, it was
Just pay attention. Here comes a fight though on the Legendary.
Legendary, and there is the initiate from the equalizer by Mob. A huge AoE slow. Mob is dominating. I don't think they need the Infernal Drake. There is the ace in the hole. Gets blocked by Xcavi, but Xcavi will not have any safety from his teammates. Santi goes in for the burst, does fail. Rappels in and out, but the shot that does land though. That's it for the clash under the turret with Skissy. Soaking some a lot of damage. Everyone's
Kissy actually gets taken down.
Yeah,
there.
under the turret there, more of a overstayed.
Yeah, that's an overstay coming from UC, and that last whirling death coming from Legendarian actually takes out Akinos. But still, that fight was still a win for UC because it's a 2-for-2 trade, but they get the pressure to get this Infernal Drake. And Legendarian, how many death sentences has he caught this game? He really needs to fix his positioning, not be baited by his own axes. But that last death sentence catch wasn't because of his axes. It was just him being out of position and not having enough reaction time to dodge.
And this, wow, 3 Infernal Drakes, and the next one would be Mountain. I think that's a pretty late Mountain, but I think Sice is like, hey, why don't I just take it? The Rams are already crumbling already. Let's seal in their death.
We're gonna see in the next team fight that will happen, because they will have to close out the game very soon. UC.
I gotta hand it to
Infernal Drakes, they have all the tools to do so.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to Akinos. The Koyu from the bot lane, and not to mention Santi not really gauging the potential of his own team. I mean, going all in 3 versus 2, I don't mind. I actually have a B of sorts, so I can still take you guys on.
Yeah, and they don't have enough damage.
Yeah, that's the message that Akinos was trying to say, and same as Hong with that trash.
I really like how Hong played that. So much synergy with Akinos. Like, every time that they went for an engage,
clutch!
Hong will ensure that Akinos is always in range for an attack by death sentencing him, and they have that confidence because they were ahead. And the shields coming from John are not enough to protect that Raven.
I guess
the mechanics as well are so on point for Akinos.
So on point. Look at Mob.
Mob will try to go for this. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, look at the damage from the equalizer, but I don't think that's going to be a kill for him whatsoever. Santi does break away from the equalizer, but look at the base, boys! The Nexus turret has been taken out. That's the first turret, and that's what happens. When an inhibitor gets taken out that early, sometimes teams, they actually ignore the wave. They have to keep pushing the top lane.
Yeah, and because they had to focus so much onto Mob,
it's gonna landslide.
Seems like the Baron, 20-minute Baron. Every time an objective spawns, UC is just always.
Yeah, this is a team worthy of a title, called an LCL team. Something that they have displayed in this game. The team you have to watch out for.
As soon as Baron spawns, and 7 seconds after Baron spawns, he's already at half health.
It's like, as soon as he spawns, it's R. It's like the death.
He's going for a fight.
Santi will not be having that leeway, but Hong taking in so much damage. There is the redemption, but Legendary will be able to kill and what trade-off in terms of jungler, but I don't think they can sustain this by looking at Akinos' position on the brush side, not to mention a double kill. Legendary will not escape with an ace in the hole, securing another ace plus a quadra.
That is actually going to be the game for UC. Wow, one of the fastest wins I've seen this entire term
of LCL. Sometimes you have to study and research.
Yeah, this is a team you have to look out for because the way they rotate, the way they play the early game is just so good in terms of the back row.
Good. I mean, speeches right here, but right now, UC and MCL will have to face off each other with a tiebreaker after this game.
This is actually not the last game for today, folks. We'll still be going for the UC versus MCL tiebreaker. They're both at 5 points right now, so we're going to see which one of them is getting to the semifinals.
Wow.
So just stay tuned, folks. Wow, such an intense day so far.
I love it. I love it when a game has a tiebreaker. It just spices up the game even more. We did see UC with such tremendous macro play. Marvelous, amazing. I'm so stoked for this tiebreaker game.
Yeah, I love it. Definitely going to be a show of endurance for this. So that means both. That means that these teams are going to have more games than what was planned. So there's going to be a test of endurance. another game just to test who really is deserving of that semifinal spot. Look at Akinos' damage, 20,000.
I guess MCL will have to try and match the rotations coming from UC.
Like, if you think about it, Akinos has been dealing 1,000 damage per minute this game.
If you look at it that way, he's been getting kills every 30 seconds in the bot lane. But wow, what a lead that was with UC. Moving on a tiebreaker to take away that sweet spot from MCL. And to our viewers out there, I hope you're excited as we are for the tiebreaker after our short break. But going to the endgame stats, look at the damage dealt by Akinos.
Yeah, Legendary, not a lot of damage dealt. He spent most of his time dying after a death sentence.
He spent most of his time up in the sky.
Because Legendarian kept catching those death sentences. His positioning was so off, and positioning is the most important thing for an AD carry, especially Draven.
So guys, there you have it. The last match of the night, but of course, because of this, we have a tiebreaker moving on to MCL versus UC. Don't go away. This is the match who will represent Group B in the next stage of the LCL. We have been the Shotcasters. I am Vulcan, and joining with me is Atlas. We'll be back after a short break. Now the Revenant Hydra has been picked off, and here it comes, the double CC lockout. All connects to Akinos. Look at the long range engage from UNOR Rams, but where is your damage? Here's your damage coming in from UFC Mom. Here comes in with the equalizer.
Oh man, that is going to be still a huge fight won by UC after all of that. Triple kill, a double kill onto Mob, triple kill even.
Legendary, and there is the vision from the equalizer by Mob. A huge AoE slow. Mob is dominating. I don't think they need the Infernal Drink. There is the ace in the hole. Gets blocked by Excalibur, but Excalibur will not have any safety from his teammates. Sammy goes in for the burst, does fail. Repels in and out, but the shot does land though. That's it for the clash on the turret with Skissy. Something some a lot of damage.
So good points with macro.
Good. I mean, speeches right here, but right now, UC and MCL will have to face off each other with a tiebreaker after this game.
This is actually not the last game for today, folks. We'll still be going for...
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.